from way. He got it! Oh my.
Nikola Jokić doesn't scream. He doesn't flex. He doesn't talk trash. He just erases you. Most players want your respect. Some want your fear. But Jokić, he wants your confusion. He wants you wondering, how is this happening? How am I down 20? How did he get a triple-double before the third quarter even started? Because the Joker doesn't need noise, he kills you with silence. And buried inside that silence is hate. Not loud hate, not Twitter beef, headline-grabbing, chest-thumping hate, but a colder kind. The kind that smiles at you in the press conference, then dissects you on the floor, and quiet, surgical, personal. You wouldn't know it by looking at him. He jokes. He shrugs. He'd rather talk about horses than basketball. But make no mistake, if you cross him, you're not forgiven. You're remembered. He won't start a feud. He won't clap back. But if your name makes it into his vault, it stays there. And when the moment comes, he won't raise his voice. He'll raise your body count. This isn't a story about outbursts. It's not about brawls. It's about resentment. Subtle, simmering, relentless. Welcome to Game 7 Stories. This is Top 6 Players Nikola Jokić hated the most. DeAndre Ayton, the body bag in the playoffs. Some players earned Jokic's hate with words. DeAndre Ayton earned it with a look. It was the 2021 playoffs. Suns versus Nuggets. Phoenix was the rising power. Denver was wounded, missing Jamal Murray. But Jokic, still dangerous. And Ayton, he wanted that smoke. He bumped him, talked at him, stared him down. He wanted to prove he wasn't scared. Big mistake, because Jokic doesn't respond with emotion. He responds with data, with counters, with footwork, with fury disguised as patience. But in 2021, the Nuggets got swept. Ayton got the last word. And on the surface, Jokic didn't seem to care, but he remembered. He always remembers. Fast forward to 2023. Same teams, same matchup, but not the same Jokic. This time, he wasn't just trying to win. He was trying to end careers. And Ayton was target number one. He dragged him through pick and rolls, outmaneuvered him on every possession, made him look helpless. Ayton's body language said it all. Slumped shoulders, delayed contests. By game 6, he didn't even play, benched, and nobody really questioned it. Because by then, the damage was done, not just to Ayton's game, to his image. Jokic didn't taunt him, didn't gloat, just destroyed him, quietly, efficiently, completely. Because for Jokic, dominance isn't loud, it's layered, it's calculated. And when you try to stand eye to eye with the Joker, he doesn't push you back, he pulls you under. Markieff Morris, the hit that woke the monster. Some players make a mistake with their words. Markieff Morris made his with his shoulder. November 8th, 2021. Heat versus Nuggets. A regular season game, until it wasn't. Late in the fourth, Morris committed a hard take foul. Not a smart one, not a necessary one, just a hit. To the ribs, to the spine, to the wrong man. Jokic went down, paused, got up, then snapped. He didn't hesitate. He charged and slammed into Morris from behind, full force, full message. The arena went silent, both benches cleared. Morris collapsed, and Jokic was ejected, suspended, fined, criticized. But he didn't apologize. He didn't blink, because that hit, it woke something. For months, Morris didn't return to the court. Back injury, whiplash. The internet debated the ethics, but Jokic had moved on. At least, publicly. But you could feel it. A line had been crossed. This wasn't basketball anymore. This was personal. And Jokic made sure the entire league saw what happens when you try to punk the MVP. Next time he played Miami, he didn't say a word. He just dropped dimes, posted triple doubles, tore their defense apart like it was made of tissue. Morris eventually returned, played a few minutes here and there, but his presence never felt the same. That rivalry? It never truly reignited. Because the moment he hit Jokic, he stopped being a player, and became a reminder. You don't poke the Joker, you don't shove a volcano. Because when Jokic erupts, he doesn't just retaliate, He rewrites you. Patrick Beverley, the mosquito and the elephant. Some players tried to outscore Nikola Jokić. Patrick Beverley tried to outbark him, and that never ends well. Beverley lives in chaos. That's his edge. He yells, he shoves, he plays like a firecracker with a grudge. To most players it's annoying. To Jokić, it's irrelevant, because you can't rattle someone who doesn't care what you sound like. But that didn't stop Beverley from trying. Clippers, Timberwolves, Lakers, no matter the team, the energy was the same. In-your-face defense, flailing arms, endless noise, and Jokić absorbed all of it, silently, patiently, then punished it. He didn't raise his voice, he raised his efficiency. Fadeaways, floaters, no-look passes. Every time Beverley tried to rattle him, Jokić just dissected his defense like it wasn't even there. The worst part for Beverley? He couldn't stop it. And he couldn't affect it. He couldn't drag Jokić into his storm. Because Jokić was the storm, beneath the calm was calculation. And Beverley was just background noise. The final insult? Jokić never mentioned his name. Not once. No post-game shade. No interview jabs. Just silence. Which, for Beverley, might have been the loudest disrespect of all. Because in Jokic's world, you don't fight fire with fire. You smother it with indifference. Patrick Beverley brought the chaos. But the Joker, he brought the quiet. And in that quiet, careers fade. Draymond Green. The chess match turned checkmate. Draymond Green doesn't fear anyone. He barks at LeBron, shoves KD, throws punches in practice. He's not just a defender, he's a provocateur, a manipulator. So when he faced Nikola Jokić, he didn't just want to guard him, he wanted to outsmart him. But here's the thing, Jokić isn't playing checkers, he's playing quantum chess. And Draymond was 3 moves behind. It was the 2022 playoffs, Warriors versus Nuggets. The Warriors had the momentum, but Jokić had the motive. Golden State tried everything, double teams, zones, fronting, traps, and Draymond was at the center of it, talking, reaching, leaning. Jokić didn't flinch. He waited, watched, then went to work. Each possession became a masterclass. 1 step ahead, 1 beat slower, on purpose. He made Draymond reach, then punish the space he left behind. You could see it wear on Green. By Game 4, the chatter was down, the arms were lower, and the respect was visible. Because Draymond realized something. You can't bully a mirror. Jokić reflects everything back. The traps, the tricks, the noise. And he turns them into buckets. He never taunted, never stared him down. He just dismantled him, piece by piece, move by move. Draymond came for a fight. What he got was a math problem he couldn't solve. Because against Nikola Jokić, there's no room for emotion, only execution. Devin Booker, the smile he couldn't stand. Some players taunt, you with words. Devin Booker, he used a smile, confident, flashy, controlled. Booker didn't trash talk like Beverley. He didn't cheap shot like Morris. He just performed and celebrated like he'd already won. 2023 playoffs, Nuggets versus Suns. It was supposed to be even. Jokić versus KD, 2 MVPs. But early on, it was Booker who stole the spotlight. He couldn't miss. Mid-range, corner threes, runners, everything dropped. And every time it did, he smiled. To most, it looked like confidence. To Jokić, it looked like disrespect. So Jokić answered, not with words, not with gestures, but with annihilation. Game 4, 53 points. And it wasn't loud. It wasn't highlight reel stuff. It was surgical, deliberate, like pulling petals off a flower. Booker kept hitting shots, but the tone shifted. Each time he scored, Jokić came right back. No celebration, no eye contact, just destruction. By Game 6, the Suns collapsed. Booker went 4 for 13, crowd booed, Suns eliminated, and Jokić walked off without a glance. Because that smile, it was gone. Jokić never said his name, never acknowledged the smirks, the flexes. But make no mistake, he remembered every single one. Because when Devin Booker smiled in Game 3, he marked himself. And when the time came, Jokić didn't just beat him. He made sure Booker would never smile the same way again. Austin Rivers, the teammate. He never respected. Most players Jokic targets wear a different jersey, but sometimes, the ones he can't stand sit right beside him. Austin Rivers wasn't a rival, he was a teammate, a starter at times, a veteran, a voice. But that voice never sat right with Jokic. Rivers talked like he belonged, acted like he led, and maybe, on other teams, he did. But Jokic doesn't care about your resume. He cares about your habits. And Rivers didn't pass that test. He tried to fit in, said the right things to the media, tried to praise Jokic publicly. But behind the scenes, Jokic kept his distance. No eye contact, no high fives, just silence. Rivers wanted to be a presence, but Jokic saw through it. To him, effort isn't noise, it's consistency, it's humility. Rivers wanted to lead with voice, Jokic leads with gravity, and gravity doesn't argue, it just pulls you in, or leaves you behind. Eventually Rivers fell out of the rotation, then out of the team. No farewell, no post, no moment, just absence. Years later, Rivers would reflect. Say Jokic was cold, distant, impossible to reach, but Jokic never responded, because he didn't need to. In his world, respect is earned in silence. And Rivers tried to talk his way in, and talked himself right out. Because the most dangerous players Jokic hates aren't always across from him. Sometimes, they wear the same colors, and still don't belong. Nikola Jokic doesn't hate like other players. He doesn't explode, he doesn't tweet, he doesn't call you out on podcasts. He just remembers. He remembers the shove, the stare, the smile, the moment you thought you had him figured out. And while you celebrate, talk, poke, he's downloading everything. He won't come for revenge. He'll come for balance. He doesn't need you to lose your cool. He just needs time. Because Jokic doesn't fight emotion with emotion. He fights it with execution. And when the moment comes, he won't raise his voice. He'll raise your regrets. You'll walk off the floor confused, silent, worn down by something you never saw coming. Because it never needed to be loud. This isn't a story about anger. It's about memory and precision and a vault full of names he'll never say out loud. But when your number's called, you'll know. Because Nikola Jokic doesn't chase revenge. He buries it, and then buries you. This has been Game 7 Stories. Subscribe for more tales of quiet killers and the grudges they'll never admit.